Right folks, today I'm out in the woods with friends!
Hey!
So going to be setting up a ground oven. We're going to be cooking a big chunk of pork wrapped in tin foil. It's one of my favourite ways to cook a big chunk of meat. You can do chicken, beef, lamb, leg, whatever. It's really easy. It does take a long time. It takes about 7 hours from starting the fire to actually getting your meal, so it's an all day thing. We're out, it's bucketing down with rain today. There's a yellow weather warning for rain and we thought we'd go camping. Perfect. Ian's kindly volunteered to dig the hole for the ground oven, so I just want a hole about that sort of size so that you can line it with rocks to trap the heat in, and you've still got enough space for a fire pit, you know. And then you put rocks on top of the fire once it's established. They heat up, then you whip out all the wood and ash and everything like that, so it's just the hot rocks. You then put your meat in, put the rocks on top, and you bury it all. Leave it for about 4 hours. And then keep the dirt close because we want that dirt to dry out with the fire, and that's the dirt we're going to pile back on top. And it shouldn't be too wet because you don't really want to do this on a rainy day.
Oh, you picked the hell out of there for them.
Do you want my shovel as well?
No.
Spot on. Oh yeah. In fact, that might be good on top.
Put rocks on top as well?
Well you basically make the fire,
Right.
and then you put rocks sort of in the fire. It's basically just like a big sort of bowl. Right, so we got our sort of satellite dish shaped pile of rocks. We're going to build a fire in there, get it really hot, nice big fire. Once it's established, you can put a few more rocks on top and then just let it all burn down. And that will also dry out the mud that we're going to put on top afterwards. So that'll be that. I'm totally nicking the fire here.
What's that got to do with it? What? Does that make me look hard and gay?
You can't, no, it's the fact you're wearing boots and trackies.
Listen, right, I am
Boots and
Bobo.
trackies are not alright.
It's actually
Right, are you wanting
trackies,
these cut up
Ian,
thinner
it's
or are they
joggies.
alright like that?
It's joggies, Ian, just saying.
Skye.
What?
Do you want them thinner or are they alright like that?
Well, I'm kind of going to cheat, to be honest, for this.
Is this your axe, is it?
You guys didn't see this.
Right.
When you can get a fire going with a ferro rod, sometimes it's okay to just cheat.
You need to black the video and then black it back every fire's going.
Yeah.
Get a wee blow.
See.
This is why you want ferro rods.
Get a wee blow. Not the light of the fire.
Oh, there we go. Oh no.
To be fair, I thought you meant the light up there.
You know what? It's okay. I'm a true prepper. I got 2 lighters. Oh, okay. He's showing off now. Fair enough.
To be fair, I thought you meant the light up there. I thought this was just some
usually they get like
False photo lighters.
Are you going to need quite
So
a
what
lot
is
of
this?
it?
I've never seen that gel before.
It's just firelighter
Is
gel.
it?
Don't need to do these ones because I can just chuck them straight on.
You actually make Bear Grylls look like a cunt.
How long do you want your fire going before? How long do you want your fire going before you? I know you're going to discuss all this in the other video, but
About 2 hours.
about 2 hours before you even think about putting the meat in.
You want the rocks
Maybe a jacket.
to have all the heat. If the rocks aren't hot enough, because you're not actually leaving the fire there.
Yeah, you're trying to heat the rocks up to keep them.
You're getting rid of the fire and just using the rocks and the dirt to cook.
Do you want us to go and get my wood?
How is
Well, there's loads of wood, it just needs all chopped up. But if anybody wants to chop it
how
up,
is
I'll be happy.
how is this better than just cooking the meat in a fire?
Because it's like an oven, it holds all the moisture in, and also see a chunk
dry,
of pork
crispy, dry
this
pork,
thick
yeah. And look at
to cook it in the centre.
crispy.
Like you can do chickens and stuff, everything in this.
Right.
Rocking
You
the
need to try a
Pokemon.
bit. You need to try a bit, you've not tried it.
Andy, thanks for bringing Pokemon to the woods.
Hey, boy.
Right. Aye. Right, so that's us got the fire going nice and good. We're going to let it burn for about 2 hours and that'll get it really, really nice and hot. You know the rocks are hot enough if you give them a little tap and they kind of make a tink sound instead of like a thud. That means that they're proper hot, dry and ready for action. So just going to let that burn down now and well, keep adding wood to it. I got something in my eye. I'll get back to you. Hey, so it's bucketing down with rain. I'm going to show you how to set up a tarp and a hammock for wet weather like torrential rain. Best way I've found to set it up. Right, so once you've got your tarp set up, then you put up your hammock, and you might notice, Right, so once you've got your tarp set up, time to put up the hammock, and I keep my hammock straps separate, so basically if you're camping for 2-3 days and your hammock straps are with your hammock, then if they get soaking wet and your hammock's still dry, you wrap them all up together. The next day all the moisture spread about and your hammock's soaking wet. So I always keep these separate, and I always keep my hammock and my sleeping bag in a dry bag, so even if I fall in a river or leave my bag in a puddle, like no matter what happens, I know my sleep setup is going to be dry. So yeah, next step, just tie these on. Right, so I got my tarp set up, I've got my slings tied onto the tree. I will adjust them once I get the hammock done. But all I do now is to keep my hammock off the ground. I check what side the zip is on, because you've always got a preference of what side you want to climb in. I want to climb in this side, so I'll make sure I got the zip on the right hand side. So this actually means I need to hook up the other side first. Keep my hammock nice and tight so it doesn't touch the ground. And this first knot, I just tighten up. I make sure I keep everything under the tarp. Right, so the important thing to note is I've got my tarp coming over this point, because this carabiner isn't just for hooking it on easy. It's so that when the water runs down here, see if the heavy rain's coming down, the water's going to come down here, it's going to get to the carabiner and it's going to drop off. It's not going to come into my hammock. So that's the sort of main reason for having it there. It is also easier just to hook up your hammock to it. But yeah, you'll notice on both sides I've checked that the carabiner is inside the tarp. Only just. That's all you need. Okay, next step, I just stick a sleeping mat inside my hammock. Keeps my back nice and warm, dry, happy. And I find, see these little foam mats? They actually work better than the inflatable mats. I tried an inflatable mat last time and it was rubbish. So I'm going back to the foam mats, even though they're a bit of a pain getting them in. Zip that shut. And I do have a mosquito net with this hammock, but to be honest, it's the time of year there's absolutely no bugs about. So what I do is I just leave that in the bottom and I just sleep on top of it. It's dead easy. Right, so the last step, put my sleeping bag in. This dry bag, usually what I'll do is I'll shove a whole bunch of things like this in there, turn it inside out and that'll be my pillow, because, well, sleeping in a hammock without a pillow, if you've ever tried it, it's not very fun. So, right, if you've never seen it before, this is the Jura 2 made by DD. It's a great sort of 3-season sleeping bag, and I'm going to keep it off the ground here. Something you'll note, it's got a waterproof footwell, so it's made specifically for hammocks. So it's got the waterproof footwell, really nice and warm, and it's also got a zip that just comes up the front, it's not up the side, so it just makes getting in and out of your sleeping bag in your hammock dead easy. So that's my setup, sure it doesn't fall out. And yeah, Colin's got a millbank bag. I've never actually had one, but they look amazing. So it's basically just like a finely woven cloth that just filters out any sort of, well, it's mostly just particles, isn't it?
You get rid of the idea is that you get rid of the physical contaminants and then you boil it. Long story short, but I love mine. I've had it for a few years. It boils down to, you know, you can pack it down to nothing. You know, it's
so
just a canvas bag. You know, so the idea is you soak it, make sure it's right properly good and soaked, fill it right up to the top. And then when it gets to the line here, you're good to go really to boil from there. Get it nice and soaked, nice and wet. Make sure it's all soaked right in. These boots are holding up really well, by the way. Quite impressed.
You still dry? I'm impressed.
I am dry. Right. So I've let the water drain out as I was walking over for the top, below the line, and then you just let it go for there, boil it, easy.
Cha-ching!
I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on her rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't come crawled up to sleep in the bath. When I awoke, I was alone, this bird had flown. So I lit a fire, isn't it good, Norwegian bird.
John Lennon wrote that song because it was about an affair and he didn't want his wife Sylvia, you know. So he wrote that song about it. Oops. Jay, that's true story, man.
What?
John Lennon wrote that song so he was married to his wife Sylvia at the time.
Look at that.
I got 15 people telling me to move, I got moving on my mind. I found shelter with some thoughts spinning wheels around. Said 10 times that I love you to the beauty I have found. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, take the elevator at the hotel. Over, I'll be glad to see you later. All I got inside is vacancy. I've been thinking of a little place down by the lake. Got a dirty old road leading up to the house. I wonder how long it will take till we're alone. Sitting on the front porch of our home, stomping our feet on the wooden boards. Never got to worry about locking the door. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, take the elevator at the hotel. Over, I'll be glad to see you later. All I got inside is vacancy. Remember the words.
Killed it. Keep playing.
Keep
playing.
I'm so tired of acting tough that I'm gonna do what I please. Let's get married in a cathedral by a priest. if I'm the man that you love the most, you can say I do at least. Well, it's one, two, keep going, take the elevator at the hotel. You're all right, catch you later. All I got inside is a vacancy. And it's 4, 5, 6, 7, grab your umbrella. Grab hold of me, cause I'm your favorite fella. All I got inside is vacancy.
Woo! My gosh, did I steal your lighter and get it back?
See if I can do a better job of getting this. Oh, yeah, to film.
I feel bad talking over this, it's just nice.
Colin, could you do me a favour, please? What would you like? Get a picture of me and stuff over here.
Yeah guys, we got some stew going just while we're waiting for the ground oven, because we're a little bit late getting the ground oven going. You gotta really get that started at 12 o'clock if you want a proper dinner time meal. But we're gonna have some stew. Ground oven, it's getting pretty good. Like, I'd say the rocks are probably about hot enough. But the stew's going good too. What have we got in the stew actually?
There's one for the grandkids.
Chorizo. Oh yeah, chorizo, what's it? Carrots, potatoes,
Onions, turnip, parsnip. Anything you can, there's leek in there and all.
that's some oxo cubes,
Oxo
salt and
cubes.
pepper.
Bit of herb and some of that blow your arse out sauce.
Blow your arse out sauce.
That's exactly what you need in the woods.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's well done. Mate. That is nasty sauce, man.
I can tell it runs in the ingredients.
What's the ingredients? Oh man, that looks nasty. Yeah, so we don't know if the stew's going to be any good or if it's just going to blow our heads off.
Oh, I made it, it'll be good.
If it's spicy as hell, we'll just pretend it's not. Right, so the fire's burned down pretty good. The rocks are all roasting hot. Next step, got to prepare the meat. So using shoulder joint, it is 1.765 kilograms. But it doesn't really matter what size of chunk you got. All I'm going to do is just chuck it on a big bit of tin foil. I'm going to double wrap it. And then we're going to empty out the fire, get rid of all the coals, all the ash, everything like that. If I can cut this open. And just fire it in there. It's really a basic way of cooking, like it's so primitive, but it works so good. Of course, that'll be a laugh if it doesn't work so good. But I've never had it not work. Now, you might be thinking, oh, why is he not putting any seasoning on it? I've tried it with honey, I've tried it with all sorts of stuff, and I find you actually get the best results if you just put it in just as is. It's as simple as that.
We going for it, Lee?
Aye, aye.
Shall I split that down a bit more?
Technology going on there.
So, well, we can just chuck them all, or most of this stuff, onto our other fire.
Just split.
So that's handy. That
That
they
hasn't burnt quite through, so split that now.
Hold on, I've got leather gloves.
split.
This leather gloves.
All you do now is you just basically get rid of the fire, so you're just left with the rocks. It's a smoky job. Having a shovel's great.
If it blows up in my face, I'll be very unimpressed.
It should have already blown up.
Yeah, it's like a right fucking dip.
Me, fire, burn bad.
This stew's going to erupt.
It's alright, see the looking like. Oh, that's the rock that exploded.
You should be recording Dale and Tucker fighting evil out here.
That's alright, that's probably good enough. You don't need to get everything out.
We're going to do a job.
Well, we
Job
just
worth doing.
put them to the side. Just get it down the bare rock down there.
All these shards of rock coming off.
Right, so that's the fire, or sorry, right, so that's the ground oven, sort of ready for our meat. So all you do, chuck it in there. Where's the twangers?
Yeah.
Hey, get the twangers. Pile the rocks around it. Just basically try and cover it up as much as you can. There's a wee sneaky rock down here that I see. That can stay down there. But yeah, so that's it nicely covered up. And then we just cover it all over with dirt. Try and pick the dry dirt first.
Just good call. Flinging everything in.
I feel like I'm Tom, Dick and Harry here, man.
No, you completely missed it. And again,
What have I done?
you keep chucking it like right against the wall. This is what folk in Hawaii do as well.
All you're doing is you're just covering it up so that there's pretty much an airtight seal. You will still get a bit of steam rising out of it.
When it's stamped down, or
No, that's fine.
I'm really happy you're here, Colin.
Oh dear, good. Well, that'll be your day.
Life is the most precious gift that Jah has given us.
Delegation's the key to success. But yeah, so that's it. You basically like that's 6 o'clock now. So we'll leave that for 4 hours and it'll be good to eat. So by about 10 o'clock, happy days. Bit of a late dinner, but it'll be worth it.
Can't wait to have tea in 4 hours time. Gonna rub it. Oh, that starts to look like stew now. Do you know the only thing it's missing is mushrooms?
You basically make like a wee diamond with your fingers and it just forces the air out like a jet. Hey, Ian's got it.
Hey, that was me!
Nah, it was Ian.
Right, I'll do it then. I'm doing it, just nobody's watching.
we're too right for title, too right way.
I want to try one. Can I make it with that one?
Right for title,
Hey, where'd you get your lunch?
Got that fan.
Now who came Ted with any legs, and the place walked twa wooden pegs. She kissed him a dozen times or two. She said, my God, Ted, is it you? Now were you drunk or were you blind when you left your twa fine legs behind? Was it walking upon the sea, the warrior twa fine legs for thee? to rain for that only to rain right away. To rain for that only to rain right away. No, I wasn't drunk and I wasn't blind when I left my 12 fine legs behind. A cannonball on the 5th of May, it tore my 12 fine legs
I don't know,
from me.
looking at branch I need anyway.
I tell you,
Quite much
boy,
a pine about you and so.
the widow cried,
So pine about you.
your
so
12
what?
fine legs were your mother's pride.
They won't me walk.
No, but what?
Stumps your trees will need air all. Why did you
What's
not run for the
I've
cannonball?
got a head torch in that bag somewhere if you have a look in my bag.
We're to
Next day,
rain
Stoffel.
from Adelaide to right away. To rain from Adelaide to right away.
Whereabouts, Colin?
I'm not sure, mate. I know it's in there somewhere though.
Now on your board, I do proclaim I'm the war in your mother's pain. She'd rather have her son as he used to be than the king
It's in there somewhere, mate. It's in the leather bag.
in his own
What?
way.
I don't know what's there somewhere.
Is that this wee pouch, is it?
That was beautiful.
Have a wee look. There's a.
That's a,
There's
it's
definitely. It
a,
might be in there.
it's a Bruce Springsteen song. And he
Really?
sings it absolutely nothing like that. And I tried to play the Wii, played it and I couldn't do it, so I done it that way instead.
It worked, man. That was awesome.
Nice song.
This is when it starts getting a bit critical.
Your spoon.
This is when you can. This is when you can break it. But as you can see, I've left it. Here, Colin. See, I've left the neck quite thick there. That's the last thing I do is thin that bit in the back
Oh, you're later again, mate. I'll pipe.
because otherwise it just snaps off.
You sure
I
you
just
got
came
one
on the
in
way
here?
back.
Was you looking for?
Pretty
Give
terrible.
me the head torch so I can see if I can get a bit of wood so I can make a spoon.
Oh, I think you're
There's a
better.
head torch kicking about. I mean, it's not far
To
away.
be fair, making a spatula is probably the first thing you want to try. You don't really want to just go straight to the spoon.
That
No,
should be
if-
like a commercial for junkies. You don't want to go straight to the spoon.
But yeah, like making
Start
a
with a spatula
spatula is a
instead,
lot
mate.
easier.
Right, well, I need to fin this.
I mean, I don't want it to be fancy. I just want it to do the job, and I'm guessing it probably will just shortly. Actually, I would like to do it fancy.
Is
I'm
that
not
in a
got the
pocket
skills.
somewhere?
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Right, Colin, I can't fit it. You're lying, it's not.
Have you done a video on your spoon, mate?
Yeah. Well, actually, I did a fork carving
Right.
video. I've not actually done how to carve a spoon. But to be honest, I'll probably put this in. But carving a spoon's largely just about doing it lots. You just mess about with it and keeping a really long handle until you're finished.
Right.
Because it just means when you're working on it, it's like counterbalanced and it's just easier.
Let me see.
Tell you something, man, I'm glad we had that bob and breakfast and I went 10 o'clock for tea.
Well, there's snacks if you want Doritos or something.
No.
It's fairly terrible, but it's the worst thing I've ever made. I'll do the trick though, too, it will work.
Stab folk with it.
Wow.
It's a spoon that doubles as a weapon.
Shank.
A prison spoon. My dad
Oh, that's good.
caught one of the boys in his metalwork class making a chip, right?
Right.
And he'd taken this bit of cast iron, right? About yea long, right? And what he'd done is he'd het the bottom up and bent it over as a handle.
Right.
The top you'd curve slightly and put a point on it, right? So you could proper bang somebody with it, right?
Aye.
My dad confiscated it. And he
Is it
uses
still in his garage?
he uses it for ripping floorboards up, right? And we went up to, we were going sailing one day, so my dad says, right, we're going to the boat, Ian, right? And the boat was up in Oban. We got to Oban, he's like, I've not brought that. My dad doesn't swear often, right? If he does swear, it's never in front of my mum, right? He's like, I've not brought the fucking keys for the padlock for the boat. He says, Ian. And I was doing on land. My dad's like, get my chib. And I got it out and he was banging the padlock off. My dad shouting, get my chib.
I love the story about your dad with the priest as well, man.
But one.
The one, no, not about an actual priest, about the guy, the fancy priest. And you're fishing.
Oh,
Fishing priest.
aye.
I thought you meant one with a collar.
No, my father, he went fishing with one of his pals and his pal. No, it was his pal, it was his brother, it was my Uncle Alistair. Who was his fishing priest, you know, for doing away with the fish. I went to the club, man. My dad pulled out an old rusty 22mm spanner.
If it does the job, man, why not?
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, stewy stuff.
That's just what he's going to do.
You need a spoon.
And I've got a spatula here that somebody's handily left behind. Oh, the smoke is unreal.
Oh my god.
Holy fucking shit!
Oh, is that spicy?
My lord, man, have a lick of that spoon.
One more.
Alright, I just
Like-
made,
just
I
made one.
just made a spoon.
Here's
You
one
want
I
to
made
see?
earlier.
Here's a spoon I just carved.
Holy
Three
shit.
drips.
Honestly, right?
Is it
Ah,
really
that's
that bad?
unbelievable.
Bad,
Honestly,
Yeah,
fucking
give us
hell.
I
That
want
is
to try. I want
unbelievable.
to just try a wee bit of the sauce.
Just mate, honestly, start first. Give it 3-4 seconds.
Ah, wet.
Look at the top of that stew, molten lava.
Oh look, you can get stuff on yours, I can't. Oh wait,
I forgot about
Colin,
that.
can you get stuff on this?
I got a pine needle.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. It's kind of like a.
I went camping with Colin once, right? We're
It's
sitting
a
there,
hot curry.
he's-
I did tell you. What were you
he's,
thinking with that chili?
He's boiled.
I tell you folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a long way to the shop if you want a sausage roll. Yeah. Say, you think it's easy doing one-night stands? Well, try playing in a rock roll band. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, yeah. He sounds like at the end of Scott Rock, man, and he's like, Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
What does the fox say?
With this wooden stick. That's a tune, man.
I can't watch School of Rock because of you now.
Well, I heard Neil Young sing about it. Well, I heard old Neil put her down. Well, I hope Neil Young will remember
Oh, sorry.
how Southern men don't need him around. Anyhow. In Birmingham, they love the governor. So, boo, boo, boo. Now we all did what we could do. Yes, we do.
Oh fucking hell! I can't. I've had too much. I can't carry
It's a
on.
tune, man. It's a tune.
Oh fucking hell! I don't know.
Get the Great Lombardo there. He's in the camera for the telly and all. Great Lombardo, it's such a privilege to have you here in your world tour. Tell us, what delights, what treats have you got for us tonight? And he says, well, I'll tell you. He says, I'm going to climb this ladder 80 feet. And he goes, right, 80 feet, ladder? That's mental. So anyway, that's not the end of it. And they say, right, well, That's impressive enough. Great Lombardo, you're like 80 feet. What are you going to jump halfway? He says, into 2 inches of water. And they go, fuck me, man, that's incredible. 80 feet into 2 inches of water. Right enough, they bring in a wee fishy paddling pool. 2 inches of water in it, and the Great Lombardo's like, right. So after a commercial break, building it up. So starts climbing, the drum rolls going on, man. Climbing and climbing and climbing. That's him, and he's standing at the top, and you can folk have been buzzing all week for the Great Lombardo coming. You could cut the atmosphere with a knife. He's standing there. Drums stop, and that's him, and he jumps off. Perfect swan dive right down. Oh! Oh! Crowd goes mental. Perfect landing. Oh my god! Fucking 80 feet into 2 inches of water. That's incredible. And the camera run up and go, "How do you feel, Great Lombardo? That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. How do you feel?" And he goes, "I fucking broke my back." That's a good one. You build it up too much, man.
I like jokes with the drawn out. You had my
It's the fact that Colin actually got
my
like,
Robin
right
Hood
into it
and
there.
my,
That was quite good. That
was
would never
good.
be
He
something
gave
you
it
never
my,
go right into.
He rubbed some funk on that.
Put some funk on it.
Okay, right. So right, there's 2 racehorses sat in the bar, right? They're sat at the table. One of them turns around to the other. He's like, "Oh yeah, how's your week?" He's like, "Oh yeah, been good. Yeah, yourself?" Says, "Yeah, good, but a really strange thing happened to me today." And the other one's like, "Oh, what's that?" He said, "Well, I told you before the shit that's going on. I haven't been feeling it at all this week. Get to the last race of the week, not feeling it. I thought I'd just plod it along. I'll come in last, whatever. But it gets to the last 100 metres before the end, and I get this weird tingling feeling in my hooves, and it spreads up from my hooves into my knees, into my thighs, and then fuck me, I'm fucking gone. I overtake all fucking 10 horses in front of me, and I win the race." My jockey absolutely couldn't believe it. And the other horse leans forward and he goes, "I didn't tell you this because I didn't think you'd believe me, but about a year ago, the same thing happened to me. I was having a shit week, not feeling it at all. Thought I'd just fucking plod it in at the end of the race. And I get this tingling, electric feeling in my hooves. It spreads up to my knees, up to my hips. Boom! I overtake. I overtake everybody in front of me. I win the fucking race. My jockey was over the moon. And there's a greyhound, sat on the table next to him. He leans over and he's like, "I can't help overhearing your conversation, but 2 days ago, I was having a shit day. I couldn't be asked for this race. I get this tingling feeling in my paws. It goes up my legs, into my knees, into my hooves, into my hips. Suddenly, fucking boom, I overtake 10 dogs and I win the fucking race. I only couldn't believe it." And the 2 horses look at each other and go, "Fuck me, you're talking dog."
How did he see that coming?
You can drag that out. There can be like 4 horses. What's the other one? Robin Hood, right? Robin Hood's he's on his deathbed. He's fought his last battle with the sheriff. He's on his deathbed. He gathers around his faithful followers. He's got Maid Marian, Will Scarlet, Little John all around him, doting on him in his death throes. And he says, he's like, Will Scarlet, bring me my bow." So Will brings him his bow. And he says, Maid Marian, bring me my arrows." So she brings him the arrows. And he says, brings Little John in close to him, and he says, "Little John, wherever this arrow lands, that's where I'm to be buried." So he notches the arrow with their help, draws it back with his last ounce of strength, and with his last breath looses the arrow. So they buried him on top of the wardrobe.
Oh, jeez, I better stop filming. This is getting worse and worse.
I'll look for the picture.
Why did Spock have his head down the toilet? He was reading the captain's log.
Tell me one about the baker.
Why were the baker's hands dirty?
I know, because
Because he was needing a job, eh?
I said it to like,
Nobody will get that though, because
Ah, he was needing a shite.
it doesn't work.
Why can't Piglet make any friends? Because he's always playing with poo.
Oh, Jesus.
oh man.
I follow dad's jokes on Instagram.
Oh, bad
Every
dad
day
jokes,
I
man.
sit
That's
there giggling.
what I'm all about.
Oh, the cheese
What?
jokes, you remember
My favourite bad dad joke. What kind of bees make milk?
them?
Boobies.
I was walking down the street and a man threw a pint of milk at me. I said, how dare he? Another man threw a lump of Stilton at me. I thought, well, that was mature.
Right, these are getting a bit cheesy now.
Hey.
My wife said I was average. I said, she's mean.
That's a thinker.
What's your one about the universal remote?
Oh, when they invented the universal remote,
Aye.
I thought this changes everything.
Colin, what's Colin's plate? He's already got it.
Is that enough?
Left in the pot for Colin.
Cheers, mate.
Aye,
Oh,
that's
there's
what I like.
tons left, man. Well, there's not tons left, but there's some left.
Oh, can I see?
Right, so
Who thought the carrots and potatoes would taste so good?
we've decided the ground oven's still cooking away. We're gonna have some stew.
Stuffed on some more?
Yeah, go on.
The pork's
My
gonna be
mouth
good.
is
I
absolutely...
could just hear everybody going.
Honestly,
My mouth is
this is the
absolutely...
spiciest
actually
stew
on fire.
ever.
I would actually have that as a soup. All day.
That is spicy as heck, man.
It's so spicy, it's killing me.
Colin gives you later. Skye.
Here, I'll take it off your head so you can eat.
Let's see what I mean.
In that bag.
You want it to drink more? Drink the broth, mate.
Drink the juice, the chili, pure chili.
Don't mess with the chili sauce.
He looks like you after you like it a wee bit.
He's still going for it
Except
though.
he doesn't have milk in him.
No, drink it up.
Look at his
Look
nose
at that.
and his eyes are big.
You got
I don't understand how he's sweating above, below, and at the side of his eyes.
His whole face is wet.
Drink the juice, mate. That's where the flavour is. That's where the flavour is. Good man.
That's where the real power lies.
Chug it up.
Right, no, wait a couple of minutes after.
This is not funny.
It is so funny.
It was at this point Ian Cameron hit the wall.
So at this point, he realised he had fucked up.
You need some
You
milk.
drinking
Oh,
milk.
somebody!
Sam.
Oh, he needs some milk.
Lady, I'm running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left hand man. I love you, oh, when you're singing the song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you could have sang the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just need to know, 'cause I can't have it any other way. I swear she is destined for the screen. She's the closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that I've ever seen. Oh, lady, I'm running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I want to be your left hand man. I love you, oh, when you're singing the song. I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you could have sang the words wrong.
Hey, that was really good. I actually thought you were greeting during that.
I'm still greeting. That chili has kicked the arse out of me, man. I can't see straight. I've got to focus now. I've got to focus on the light of the fire, otherwise I just go off my own planet.
Alright, it is time. It's 10 to 10 at night. It's been in for what, almost 4 hours, and feels warm on top. Lovely. Time to dig it up and have some dinner.
Where's the other one? What about the slippery? Because that's steam, that.
Somebody shine the light over here?
The earth smells like a wet dog because it's wet and warm.
A wet dog.
Is there a shovel?
Here.
It's alright,
Right
that'll do. Like,
You need to get to the brick. There you go. See the foil.
yeah.
Oh, look, man.
Loyal to the foil.
That's it.
That's going to be roasting, surely.
Don't call me Shirley.
That's fucking.
Oh, just still roasting.
Oh, this is going to be good, man.
In fact, I'm gonna go cameraman here.
Okay.
Can
Get
I
out.
Well, I've got tongs here.
Oh, as if that's still hot, man.
Oh, mate, that's hot.
You want me to get the tongs?
I've got asbestos fingers. Oh no, the bag's burst.
No, it's double layered. It'll be alright.
Oh, I've got the
Fat dripping in it.
juice.
Oh yes.
Okay, it has first.
Ah, fuck it.
Yes. Bring it round.
Are you cooking yourself
No, it's really hot.
there? That's good, that means
I
it's
can
cooked.
smell that, mate.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it smells fantastic. Bring it round here.
I'm going to put it on top of that rock there.
Stick it in there.
Oh, I can smell it. It smells amazing.
Right. Somebody give me a knife.
Dude, look at that.
Oh my god, this smells so good.
That does.
Right, somebody give me a knife.
A knife cut down from the middle. See if it's kicked from the middle.
Oh,
It
my
will be.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, cut straight through it, mate.
Oh, it looks delicious.
Watch that half done it fall in the fire.
Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
that is
Right,
perfect.
get your plates out.
That is cooked.
And give me your plates out, then I'll cut you off about meat.
Go for it.
Can you lift my bit, Andy? Oh, look at that.
Why don't you just chuck it all on the plate and
Sorry,
you just cut it up there?
I need your heat tongs because I'm going to go.
Is it burning you?
No, it's stuck to the paper.
That's no paper, mate.
It's metal paper.
Metal paper.
Sit that fat on the fire.
To be honest,
Oh, aye, the fat's going to
Oh,
fire.
yes, look at that.
Absolutely.
Get the
right,
fat in
man.
the back of the foil and stick it in the fire.
No, there's a grill there. Mate, just move that pot of stew out the way.
Where's your
Oh, look at it.
where's your tongs for
It looks
grabbing?
so
hold
good,
of-
doesn't it?
Where's your tongs for grabbing hold of the pots and that?
It's over here somewhere. So moist.
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 Man, I can't see. I'll lift that off the fire, yeah?
Just worried it's going to fall off or something.
Oh, look at that. That looks good.
Here's another video on how to skin a pig.
Get that fat on the fire, man.
Oh, it's bloody hot, man.
You are quite drunk today. You're going to wake up and your fingers will be dead.
I'm thinking this seems like a bad
It
idea.
does.
To be honest, my arm's cooking because of the fire anyway, but
Get
probably
that,
not as bad as your
get
fingers.
that on there, mate.
Right.
Face down, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Get your plates out.
My plate's out. You guys are.
Right, wait to divide it into fucking 5 equal chunks.
It's yours, mate.
Hanging up on the
So there you go, folks.
Oh, where?
hanging up.
Pork
To your
cooked in a ground oven. Honestly, it's dead easy.
Where? There's a wooden spoon.
And it's
No.
blooming awesome. Does take a bit of time. It's worth it. You honestly end up with like the tenderest, tastiest meat ever.
I hope it's on the fire.
So
Oh, it's right here, stuff.
Happy days.
Right here.
So tasty.
This is some good chicken. Is that the pork belly on it?
That's the fat.
No, right.
Get that fat question up.
Right, I kind of forgot to film this, but see the pork crackling? We cut that off, we put it on the grill, we cooked it up. It's turned out absolutely amazing. Look at this. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit tipsy, but if you want the sound effect, listen.
That's good porn, isn't it?
Right there. So salty and good payment.
It was so good. All we did was we just put it on the grill, sprinkled salt all over it, cooked it up good. That was the ground oven. I think it was a pretty good success.
Great success.
Yeah, great success. But,
Very nice.
yeah. Oh, forgot about my head torch. Yeah, if you want to give it a try, I would definitely recommend it. It's an absolute win. So,
Incredible, mate. Good eye.
yeah, does it get the thumbs up?
Great success.
Very nice.
Great success!
Don't cry. You lie here. That's not the right chords. I don't know how to play it.
I love how everybody was engrossed in that there.
Oh, I was right at the back.
Cry.
Here we go. I was like, is this chili? This is chili.
You lie here. Please don't cry. You lie here. I can't remember it. I've not played it in like 4 years, man.
Somewhere in the darkness, the gambler he broke even, and in his final words I'd found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done, you got to know when to hold 'em,
When I hold 'em,
know when to fold 'em,
when I fold 'em,
know when to walk away,
just walk away.
know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done.
Way.
Quite love the gambler when there's a fire, man. It always goes with
Right,
fire.
guys. Swamp Valley song, come on.
In constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Swamp Valley, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. See, that sounds quite good.
That's good, trust me.
That sounds good.
So good.
Playground, that's where he spent most of his day. I can't help it, man. It's like today. I'm sorry.
Relaxing, all cool.
Chilling by the oven next to the school.
Shoot
I
some
don't-
b-ball out of
Should we try? Should we slow, I
Cooking
think
some
we should slow
pork
it down a
outside
little
of the
bit.
fire.
Right, ready? 1, 2.
I've never sang this
In
deep in my life.
constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to Old Trump Valley.
Buttery, flaky crust.
Flaky, bluttery fuck.
So, we don't have a lot of plans for this morning. I think we're just gonna... I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the rocks from the ground oven and maybe rearrange them around our fire pit. Cook up some bacon, pack everything up, head on out. Alright, so first thing, gotta get a fire going. I'm using my kind of, you can't really call it a cook set, it's like a wooden mug. I got some Nescafe 3-in-1 just to get the morning started, because I can't talk to the camera properly. This is river water, so I made sure there's big bouncing bubbles. You never want to mess about with river water. Always boil it thoroughly. I'll keep that on for Colin. He's just got it. No need to dirty a spoon. Cheers. Yeah.
Good morning. Hey, it's Swamp Valley.
Swamp Valley, yeah. So
We managed through the yellow weather warning. So camping in the weather yellow warning turned out to actually not be that bad.
yeah,
A few trees down on the way in, but it's all good, you know, for my shelter. Get it built more.
Bring on the red weather warning. That's a nice challenge.
Bring on some snow and
I'm
that.
looking forward to some snow. Right. Right, so we had some coffee. Pretty good morning. I think we're just going to boost on out of here because I got work in the afternoon. So hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Waves all round.
Smile and wave, boy. Just smile and wave.